So hello and welcome back to the next video. As you saw in the title and in the thumbnail already, we are going to talk about Dark Willow. Yes, I really like Dark Willow currently, and in my opinion, Dark Willow is like by far my top position 4 hero currently, and I'm like trying to play her every single game. And I will recommend you playing this hero only if you have like more experience with it, or if you already play Dark Willow. This is like not a video for people that are new to the game or something, but I want to like learn a new hero, because Dark Willow is definitely not for beginners and not for people that want to experiment like new heroes, because Dark Willow is like kind of complex and pretty hard to play, I would say, like if you want to play it good. Like overall, my current stats are not like insanely good with Dark Willow, but I won my last 6 games, and I must say all the losses I had, I felt like I had a lot of impact. It didn't matter what I did kind of, but just the spells and like the way you can play this hero is pretty good, and it always actually feels good. It doesn't really matter what you do or what items you are going for, but I will recommend you at the end of this video one item build that I'm always going for, and that is like definitely the best. I know a lot of people played like this Dark Willow right click build, or even like position 1 Dark Willow with like Arteezy, or I can't remember who else it was, Pakas I think, and it didn't work out pretty well, but they tried it and it almost worked out kind of. For a few examples, we are just going to watch one replay of myself. I played Dark Willow, and even though we lost, I felt like pretty good in the early stages of the game. Alright, before we are going into it, let's talk a little bit about Dark Willow. Dark Willow has very good spells. All of them are very strong in some situations, and all of them have like possibility for very good plays. Besides the stun maybe. This is like not so much skill, but also it is a very safe stun, and it's actually very hard to counter if you don't have the items or heroes against it. But overall, the laning stage of Dark Willow is just so strong that you can literally 1v1 any position 5 hero and you actually win the trade. I think the only hero I'm currently losing against is basically Trine Protector. But it's kind of obvious because Trine has like 100 damage level 1. But besides that, you're literally winning against anybody in a 1v1 if you want to. Like if I'm just trying to 1v1 any plus 5 hero, I'm currently winning. The reason behind that is basically Willow has very good stats and a very solid attack speed. They nerfed it like a few patches ago, but even then, Dark Willow, his 1v1 potential is just so good that it feels super nice. And I would actually recommend you. This is the biggest reason why I think Dark Willow is great as a hero currently, because it's very hard to actually lose lanes. It doesn't matter what you do, you just need to hit your Q, and like I will recommend you like using your Q in like lobbies or in some training games or whatever will help you quite a lot. Like you don't need to use quick cast, because quick cast is very hard to use it, but I can tell you out of experience now, I've played like 20 games with Dark Willow last 2 weeks, that the Q is not that hard. Like you need 20 games, and I can guarantee you get into it, what the positioning is and what the exact timing is. And this is like the cool thing about Dark Willow, because you can literally use one Q and you can harass like 3 to 2 heroes at the same time. You stun them, you deal damage, and you literally have kill potential with like other setup heroes. The best examples are Sand King, Centaur, Slarda, anything with a stun or with a very good slow, and you have easy kill potential. And if you are good enough at some point, you can even set up these kills and you don't even need stuns. That means you can play with other heroes on the offlane as well. You even feel better because you are setting up the kills and you don't need anybody to like help you out. Another cool aspect is like as a Dark Willow at level 2, it is insanely hard for yourself to die, because you can literally just TP out or run away from anybody with your W. And whenever they come close or whatever happens, you just kill them, or you turn it around, or you just back off with a TP easily. And this is just one of the biggest benefits in my opinion, because a lot of position 4 players that are like not good are feeding quite a lot in lanes. And Dark Willow is like easily outplaying that, because it is very hard to die as this hero, and it is very hard to actually feed with this hero, because you have an ability basically keeps you alive. So this is like the biggest benefit you can get out of Dark Willow when it comes down to playing greedy and like getting something out of your lane and without like dying or feeding any like few seconds. A different aspect of Dark Willow currently is like Dark Willow is very good at like team fighting. Kind of obvious. You have a lot of spells and you can use them very like effectively and in different situations. But Dark Willow overall has a very good potential with heroes that jump in. The since they changed Bedlam, where you can like literally put it on your teammates, it is so much better, because the biggest problem always with Dark Willow was like you need to run in to deal damage. Now it's like you literally sit behind and you deal a shit ton of damage because you can just put it on your teammates. And it deals so much damage in combination with some heroes. Later on, if you want to build a Veil, if you get the talent later on, all that stuff is amplifying that. Even Akaya does that, and this is so good. The damage and the burst potential with some heroes is just like you literally deal 1 to like 1.5k damage with level 2 ulti on Bedlam, on a Centaur for example. He jumps in, he stuns, and you easily getting all the damage output out. Because you have a stun, You're using a Bedlam, he jumps in, bam. Any hero is kind of dead. It doesn't matter what items they have, kind of. If you have enough stun lock, you will deal the damage with Bedlam at some point. And if you need follow-up, like you jump in and you need to follow up, it's pretty simple. You literally just ulti right after it, you're getting like a 5-second disable, easy clap, anybody's dead. It doesn't matter what they have, and it doesn't matter how good they are. They will die at some point, because you have 3 ways of actually stunning people. The first one is your ulti, the second one is basically your stun, your E, and the third one is your Q. And in combination with that, if your teammate has a stun, you can easily use it as a 4th stun, and anybody's dead. Guaranteed. Alright, now we are going to talk about the item build and skill build I'm going to recommend you. Please, need to always max your Q first, then you max your E, and then you go for ulti, kind of classic, and you leave 1 point in a W. Yes guys, and now Midas is very tempting on Dark Willow, but no, trust me, this hero is not good anymore with Midas. Especially after nerf of the Midas as well. You can do so much more with this item build and skill build than you could with a Midas, even at minute 50. You can stun people for like 10 seconds kind of by yourself if you just hit your ulti into a stun, into a root. And it is so strong, and you can deal so much damage by yourself or in combination with your teammates. So please, try to go for a Yules, go for a Veil. You can decide if you want to start with the Veil or start with the Yules, it's up to you. And then use the skill build you are currently seeing on my screen. Trust me, it's so much better than anybody else doing something with this Midas into Aghanims, into Moonshot. Yes, I know it's cool and nice, but you're basically at position 4 and you are the disabler. Like, you can go for a Midas, but please still go for the skill build I'm currently using. Later on you can like transition if you want to into the right click build, but you will not get your right click build out anyway in the next like 50 to 60 minutes in the game, and you're not dealing any damage. Like, anybody that jumps you, you're basically dead. And instead, you're using 1 Bedlam on the enemies, you're using your stuns, and anything is dead. So use the ability you have as a disabler and like burst people. Don't try to be like a 3rd core or whatever, because it's not gonna work out and it's not gonna be successful, trust me. But if you want to, of course, later on you can like turn into a core, but this is gonna be like a minute 50 to 60. Alright, the skill build currently is like super simple in Dark Willow. You start with Q, then you go for W, then you can decide if you want to put another point in your Q for more damage, or you can go for the stun. It's up to you. I usually go for Q because it's more damage and the kill potential is just way higher. Then on the 4th point you go for your stun, then you go for Q again, and then you go for ulti. After the ulti you go for Q again, and you just maxing your Q and your E. And whenever you get ulti, you skill your ulti. You can even go for the level 10 talent on the stun duration on the Crone stun. It's up to you, but I will recommend you this talent on the right side first, and on level 15 you can decide if you want the AoE stun or the Bedlam. But I think personally the Bedlam is just better because the damage potential is so much higher at the stage. Like, when you are level 15, everybody anyway has like a Manta, a BKB or whatever, and he's gonna dodge your stun. So I would definitely recommend the Bedlam. You can even deal some damage through BKB and all that stuff. So definitely take the Bedlam if you want to like output your maximum damage, especially in combination with like Kaya or Veil. Alright, on the laning stage I usually go for this item build, basically because you have kill potential with the grenade. You want to make sure you're blocking the small camp, or you want to unblock your big camp, and you really want to make sure as well that you have a lane ward or a ward that's scouting careers. Because with Dark Widow, it's super easy to contest any camp, and it is super easy to fight at plus 5 as I said before, and you can easily kill some careers with it as well. You have your W, you need like 1 hit by yourself, and then you can you W up and hit the career another time from like even more range. So there's like easy kill potential on careers and on heroes with this item build, plus you're tanking up, and you have definitely better trading potential with a double circlet plus 1 more branch, because your stats are getting very high, and your damage and your HP pool is like stacking up quite high as well. And your attack speed is definitely faster than anybody else on the position 5, and you can easily outride anybody with it. So make sure you go for this item build, or you put a stick in there instead of like a circlet and the iron branch, and instead you can go for like a magic stick and double branch. But it's up to you. The stick is only a recommendation if you play against heroes like Bristleback, Phantom Assassin, and so on. Like heroes that are spamming spells, but otherwise definitely go for the stats. It feels way better, and you're trading way more efficient. Alright, one more important thing about your Q is basically you need to make sure that you are practicing it enough to actually double hit your enemies with your brambles every single time. Like, just for example, using it like this in the middle is not gonna work. You need to understand the right angles, and you need to click it in the right direction and in the right position. You can practice it without like quick casts, but it's up to you. If you want to use it in the correct way, you should always like think about it, and you need to understand where they spawn. Like for example, right here, I'm like 80 to 99%. I'm like 99% sure they're gonna spawn on both of them. If it's gonna happen, perfect. And if it's not gonna happen, shit happens. But you need to practice the spell a lot. Like one big tip for that is definitely turn off your quick cast and just practice it like this. So you see where the things are spawning and you can easily predict it. Later on, you definitely want to activate quick cast again because it's so much faster and so much easier hitting it if you know the perfect positions and you can easily like use it. Trust me. So definitely make sure you're practicing the spells on Willow and you're making sure that you're actually spamming her, because this hero is very complex and you will not learn it by 1 or 2 games, and you need to make sure to get your practice in and to get your games into the hero. And one more big thing as well is, whenever I'm playing pubs currently, Dark Willow is almost never banned. I don't know why. Like, I'm not sure if people don't play this hero that much, but like this hero is not banned. It's not like a Rubik or a Nature's Prophet or whatever. Dark Willow is just like, I don't know, maybe banned in like 5% of my games, but that's it. Other than that, she's not even like picked that much because a lot of people don't play her. But I will definitely recommend you spam this hero, learn her, and you will see this hero is very broken, very strong, and you're gonna have success with it in new pubs. Especially if you play it on all positions. It's up to you if you want it though. But I would definitely recommend you position 4 and 5. Mostly 4, because you can scale later on, yes, and you can actually abuse that. So thanks for watching the video. I really hope I could help you and give you some tips with it. Good luck in your pubs, and enjoy Dark Willow. Peace.